Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd pop on today and give you a little bit of an update on what's going on and what's been happening in my craft room this week. So I'm having to sort of reorganize my schedules and how I craft a little bit. Mom is still in the hospital and more than likely will be for quite a long time. Having a lot of trouble sorting out that famous infection. They find an antibiotic that works, and then when, the course of the antibiotic is finished, everything seems amazing, and within 3 or 4 days, bam, infection is back, whether it be lungs or the UTI. So that by the time we can actually find something, we've got microbiologists working on it and maybe, getting it resolved properly. There's going to be a whole scenario of, they call it reconditioning. So getting her mobile again, getting her to be able to walk, and then evaluating whether she will be able to go back to the residence, which is a residence for semi-autonomous. So whether she will actually be able to integrate her apartment again, or whether we'll have to envisage something else. So in for the long haul, and that is going to the hospital about 4 days a week, working 2 days a week. And well, actually it's 1.5, because on one of those days I leave early and Joey gets me to the hospital. So I'm home basically when everything works. I'm here Thursdays and Saturdays. So also with all of the worry and everything else, I have been crafting. I've been in my craft room, but often it's been sort of in the evenings when I'm back home, when everything is done, or very early in the morning. So I have it in my craft room. I'm going to get myself reorganized, and I should be back to doing some processes and 12 by 12s, hopefully fairly soon, as I can readjust to all of these new situations. But so what I've been doing, because I love to be in my craft room, and I do need to touch my goodies every single day. So if you recall, I did one of my 6x8s, which was for the 52 favorite photos. One of my photos was me getting back into coloring some stamped images. So this week I made some cards with some of those. Now I do have a few other stamped images ready to go, but I need to get myself some white 8.5 by 11 white cardstock. So I finished what I have here, and I've got 5 cards, and these are fairly simple because basically the stamped image, which has been colored, is the focal point. The majority of these I used my Copics, and there is one that I used my Prismacolors, and I think, see, I'm not sure. So this is Copic. All right, so this is Copic. This is fun. This is a little cookie, and I've got another one of these to color. I do need to get myself some refills for a couple of my Copics. So this is cute. And what I used here is some 6x6 papers. I had a stack of loose 6x6 papers in my basket there. Many of these are Stampin' Up. Some of them are leftovers from Scrapbookin' Cards Today when I was getting the, their sampler, their monthly samplers, or just a piece of paper that I didn't quite know where or what pad they belong to. So this one, very simple. And you're going to see here that I did not put any sentiments, because I will add sentiments more than likely inside when I use the cards, because I've got some catching up to do on sending cards out. So I did this fun little cookie, this lovely hibiscus flower. This is one of my favorite stamps, and it's a Your Next stamp. That was a Canadian stamp company that unfortunately has closed its doors, but I've got quite a few of their stamps. So, well, this is a Your Next stamp as well, actually. So I think all of my stamping here, no, not true. So this is Your Next stamp. This is as well. This is with Prismacolors. And they look, to me, the effect is very similar. Now, when I started coloring again, that was in 2008, I took a Copics class at my local scrapbook store, which doesn't exist anymore either. And, you know, we got 12 Copics and we did some coloring of stamped images. And that's where my fun with Copics started. And my way of coloring, at least I think that's how I learned it then, was to go from the light to dark to mid-tone to dark. And you're going to see, I'm going to talk a little bit more about coloring, but that is pretty much how I still do it. So I've got those. And then this cute little kitty, is a Stampin' Up! Stamp that I did here. And these are with Prismacolors. So these are pencils. I used pencils on these. So I got some cards done this week. Now, the coloring I had done a couple of weeks ago over, you know, quite a few days. And I had already talked to you about that before. So just did some cards with those stamped images this week. Now, my big thing, my friends, is I have gotten back into actually coloring. It is so relaxing and I enjoy it. So yes, I needed another hobby, didn't I? But actually, I did some coloring a few years ago with, I think, was it Joanna Basford's Secret Garden. And I did some coloring back then, in addition to the stamped images. For quite a while, I did a lot of coloring with stamped images, always with my Copics, and quite a bit of card making. Then I got myself a lovely set of Prismacolors, the big 150 set, probably in, was it maybe 2017, 18, I can't remember, but they were really, really, really reasonably priced, and they are the Prismacolor Premieres. So my friend, the lovely Shannon from She's Crafty, has started doing some coloring on her channel, and she really got me motivated and inspired to do some more coloring. So I did treat myself to a couple of books. I have a couple on their way, which if you're interested, please let me know down below. I will show you. I won't be doing for quite a long time. I won't be doing any coloring on screen. I'm still a little bit rusty and I need to get back into the coloring. And I'm still, I would say, more comfortable with my Copics than my Prismacolors, but we'll get there. Now, I got this small Victories from Joanna Basford, and I love, love, love this. These are, you can do little bite-sized bits. So, you know, this one, for instance, I did here, and I could do this when I got back from the hospital in sort of like one sitting. And these are with Prismacolors, and I quite like the effect. And I did note down what I used here for sort of the castle, and therefore my sort of cement colors. So I got this book, and I did a little bit of coloring there. Now, I got this Flora coloring book by Maria Trolle. She is Swedish, and this is the, I believe, Swedish edition, but she has some beautiful, beautiful books. So this was sort of a little bit of a treat. There was another one that I wanted that I think Shannon had talked about on her channel, but it wasn't available at Indigo. Indigo Chapters, which is our big bookstore here in Canada, and that's where I buy my books and my coloring books. So I got the floor, and I love, 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 love coloring flowers. Now, you're going to see that I definitely need some practice, but I quite like this. Now, this took me quite a while to color. I think I did this over probably more than a week in small chunks of time when I got home. And I used, this is Spanish orange that I did for the middles of my flowers. I added a little bit of gold here to the ribbon. These three greens are my absolute favorite, and you can tell already because these are used a lot, and that is spring green, apple green, and Prussian green. So now, again, a lot of people, and I've now started following a few more people on YouTube, and there are some amazing colorists. I follow Coloring Bumblebee, My Colorful Country Life, Rachel Henderson. I should not name them because I'm going to forget quite a few, but there are some Colorfully Optimistic. There are some amazing, amazing colorists. And I do notice that most, including Shannon, start with the sort of darker, then go to the mid-tone, and then go to the lighter colors. And so I tried that here. You can see on this leaf, and I tried it, I think, on this flower. And you see, I am used to doing my Copics from light to mid-tone to dark. And I guess that is how I colored for so long on stamped images, and that is basically my natural. So you see here, I don't like how that turned out at all. This, to me, is much, much nicer. So I just went back to the way I learned to color with Copics, and I'm applying that to my Prismacolors. Same thing here. You see, I prefer this and this, so I went back to, let me see, I think, was it this one? Yeah, I think it was this one, and you can see here, see, I don't like that effect at all. So I'm going to continue doing the way I do it, so doing my light to mid-tone to dark. So I did this page all with my Prismacolors, and in the background here, they are some pastel watercolors. They're from Derwent, and I saw, who was it? I think it's Lucy Just Adds Color, sort of did a background, and it goes very, very quickly. So I did that in my background. It's sort of in a grayish blue. And then once I had finished coloring, I came back into some of the little nooks and crannies here and did a little bit of shading. Now, this is not amazing, but I'm just happy that I rediscovered the fun and the relaxation of coloring. It is so, 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 so relaxing. So I did some coloring. And let me know if you're interested in seeing. I could maybe once a month just have a quick sort of what I did during the month. And if you would like to see the coloring books, I'm not getting any more. I think I have 5 on the way, and I'm not going to be getting any more. That is going to do me. That will be my entire coloring collection. So if you'd like to see those when they come in, let me know. I ordered them from Indigo a couple of weeks ago now. Maybe not a couple of weeks ago. Maybe last week sometime. And it's all boxed up, and they've created a label, and it just seems to be sitting there not going anywhere. I honestly, our postal system is not quite back up to snuff. So there you go. So did some coloring. And then, of course, back to my normal and my first love of scrapbooking. I used my Mercy Tiara Winter Glow kit to do a 6x8 double page that's going to go into my everyday album. And that is about our 2 back-to-back humongous winter storms that we have not had in years. In fact, some of our youngins, our team at the bakery, have never seen this much snow. And when I told them, I said, well, this is like my childhood. It is. But these were record-breaking snowfalls, almost to, well, actually, over the 4-day period. So we had the first storm last Thursday, and the second storm on Sunday. Sunday was it 16th? Sunday the 16th, and Thursday the 13th. Now, over that 4-day period, we actually got more snow than we did when we had the 1971 storm of the century. But on Sunday, but for a 1-day snowfall, that snowstorm still beat it. I think back then on, was it the 4th or the 5th of March, 1971, there was like 53 centimeters. We, in the 1 day, did not get to that. But we basically got 40 centimeters each day. So that's like a little more than 40 on Sunday. So it's about 16, 17 inches, and a little less than 40 on Thursday. It was about 15 inches. Now, the difference between the two, on Thursday, there was no wind. So there wasn't, snow blowing all over the place. It was steady, heavy snow, but no wind. So it just sort of fell on my balcony. I had that, sort of 15, 16 inches. But I was able to clean my little terrace, my balcony easily. I didn't do it all in one shot. I'm no longer at that age, my friend. So I think it took me 3 or 4 sessions out there, but over the Friday and the Saturday, because we knew this Sunday storm was coming. So I needed to get that all cleaned, and I did. I managed to get it all clean. But then Sunday was the old-fashioned storm with blowing snow. And I live on the top floor with no protection over my little terrace balcony. So you can see here, that was like, it went up to more than half the window. Like, it was sort of in a slope. But I didn't even know how to open my door, actually. Luckily, I had opened my screen, and I do that now early December every year, because a few years ago, where there was a little bit of a storm like this, and I had not opened my screen, I actually had to break my screen. So I learned my lesson, and I leave my screen open so that at least I can get through the winter. So I just used the 6x8 here of this lovely paper. And this, actually, it's from the paper pack, the 12x12 collection pack that my dear friend Laura sent me. These 2 papers were not in the Winter Glow kit. This paper is from the Winter Glow kit. So I used the 6x8. I just did a little bit of a banner piece here, inked it in my Midnight Muse. Back my photos here, so it was -11. And then, Dear Mother Nature, get back on your meds, have a glass of wine, and start thinking warm, happy thoughts. Because that was a lot, my friends. That was a lot. And it's been very, very cold as well. So we definitely off to a late start, but definitely an old-fashioned winter. I'm kind of done. But anyway, so there you go. So that was sort of the Thursday, and then you can see here my Saturday. And then I used the sticker sheet to get Chasing Snowflakes, and this lovely snowflake, and this big. Now I put a pine cone here underneath, and then this large sticker here with Frosty Chili. Then I broke out my Lael by Mail, my month stamp. So I did February 2005. I probably didn't need to do that, but I wanted something there. So I sort of took a little bit of an idea from the listing And I've drawn some lines here in the Midnight Muse where I'm going to do my journaling, which I'm going to talk about everything I just told you, and one little tidbit that I'm about to tell you, and then two little chipboard bits. I'm not fussy. I'm going to be honest. I'm not fussy on the Echo Park chipboard the way it is packaged, you know, that you have to sort of push it out, because I'm always having to cut off or file the little bit. So I'm not a fan of that. I love the chipboard, but I'm not a fan of how they come on the sheet. So as I said here, I managed, so over 3 or 4 sessions on Friday and Saturday to get my balcony clean. But here, when I woke up on Monday morning, I said, there is absolutely, I don't even know where to start. I don't know how to do this. I'm too old. I'm too old for this. So I wrote a quick email to the owner of our building, and I said, look, I did Thursdays. I was able to do Thursdays, but do you have a reference that you could give me of somebody that I could hire to clean my balcony? Because you know, this one, I cannot, I cannot do this. And of course, the balconies, little terraces, are our responsibility. Now, I'm looking around here, and there are tons and tons of people who have not cleaned it yet. That makes me nervous. It made me very nervous to have limited access to my terrace. I mean, you know, if there was a fire, I mean, I don't think water infiltration, if it gets really sunny and warms up one day, would we get water infiltration into the house? So it makes me very nervous. I like to get that done quickly. Anyway, long story short, after a very, very difficult day at the hospital on Monday, I got home, and my landlord, the owner of our building, sent me an email and said, look, I've given your phone number and your name to a friend of ours. He called me and he said, yeah, no worries, not a problem, I'll come. And I said, okay, so how much? Just so I can make sure that I have some, you know, cash on me. So at first on the phone, he said, $10. I said, I'm retired. I don't worry about it. So just call me when you know you're going to be home, you know, with everything going on. Just call me when you know you're going to be home for 2-3 hours. So Wednesday, I got home from the hospital fairly early, gave him a call. He came over here quickly, in no time flat. He was out there and he got that done. Probably took him, I don't know, maybe, I don't think it took half an hour, quite frankly. And anyway, when I tried to give up, because to me, the $10 made absolutely no sense. You know, I had looked on Facebook and our little towns thing, and people were talking, you know, $40. So I thought it, you know, so I figured, you know, I've got to give him a lot more. So I had my wallet out, and he would not take a penny. He said, you know, in life, we have to help each other out. That just made my day, friends. So I'm going to get all of that journaled here, and then you'll see that at the end of the month wrap-up. Gosh, I did go on today, didn't I? Told you a lot more about what's been going on in my life than the actual scrapbooking coloring. But so this may be the way I have to do things for a week or so. Just come on every few days and say, okay, you know, what's going on in my craft room right now? This is what I'm doing until I can get myself organized and get back to doing some processes and 12 by 12 layouts for you as I reorganize myself. And I'm not, you know, and really, you know, making sure that I don't forget self-care and I don't forget to eat properly, and my sleeping. So there you go, my friends. Thanks so much. Thanks for, if you're still here, wow, thank you. You are a true diehard. And I know many of my subbies, you guys are the best, and I say it often, the absolute best subbies there are. Many of you are friends. So I will see you back here very soon. We'll see what shape it takes, but I'll try and be back here over the weekend at some point. Talk to you soon, friends. Bye for now.